Shall we? To that incredible finish at Craven Cottage, delighted to say Manchester United centre-half Victor Lindelof joins us now, live from Craven Cottage. Victor, great to speak to you. What a way to end that game.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic ending to the game. I'm very, very happy for Alejandro. I think he's been doing great this past few weeks. And then once again he comes in and makes a difference. So yeah, fantastic.
But the winner from an 18-year-old, Alejandro Garnacho. Of course, he made his mark in recent games, notably in midweek as well in the League Cup. Tell us more about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great talent. Obviously, I mean, I think like I said, I think he's been showing his qualities these past couple of weeks, and he's been working very, very hard in training. And I mean, when he's got his opportunities, when he got the opportunity to play, he's been absolutely great. And yeah, just a great talent.
The composure was quite telling for someone which almost belied his years. Does he play with that swagger, that confidence in training as well?
Yeah, he's got great confidence, and of course, I mean, it's great to see that in such a young player. But yeah, like I said, he's got great qualities, and yeah, I'm just very, very happy for him.
Victor, how big a role do you think that the senior players have to play with young players coming through like this, just to keep their feet on the ground, keep their attitude intact? A big responsibility on you guys.
Yeah, of course. I think that's very, very important. Obviously, when you're a young player, I think it's important to listen to the older players who's done the journey before you. They know what it takes to get to the top. And yeah, I think Alejandro's been listening to the older players as well. And yeah, like I said, this past couple of weeks, he's been absolutely great. And yeah.
Victor, talk to me about the role of Casemiro that plays in front of you. You've had a lot. You've had McTominay play in front of you. You've had Fred, but Casemiro. I mean, how much of a help is it having him in front of you?
Yeah, I mean, ever since he arrived, I think it's been great for us. He's such a great player. He reads the game well. He wins a lot of duels, and yeah, it's very, very nice to have him in front of you. It gives you a lot of confidence because you know he's always there. He's always protecting us as well. So yeah, I mean, he's been just a great player.
Finally, Victor, I mean, it's a perfect way really to sign off before the 6-week World Cup break. It's been a resurgent kind of United in terms of form. 8 wins in your last 12 in the league. What's that been down to?
I mean, we've been working very, very hard in training. We've been listening to the coaches, and yeah, like I said, just been working hard in training, and because we want to improve, we want to win, we want to compete, we want to be at the top and fight for things. And I think it's very important to have the whole squad. And today as well, like I said, Alejandro started on the bench, but he came on and made a difference. So I think the squad has been very, very important these last couple of weeks and months as well. So I think that's been one of the key things.
Great stuff. Good to talk to you, Victor.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Manchester United centre-back Victor Lindelof live from Craven Cottage. Let's get some more post-match reaction on a dramatic late win for Manchester United. Here's their head coach, Erik ten Hag.
Erik, as a coach, is it always even more pleasing when the substitutions work really well like that?
Yeah, I would say the last week we had some good choices that subs come in and have a big impact, and today as well. And it's great to have the win before the game. You ask me, is it even more important, a win before the break? And it is. It was a massive win. It's really important, and I'm really happy with this win.
Alejandro Garnacho got the winner. You said previously he has to improve his attitude, but does he have that, if you like, arrogance that you have to be a big player at a big club as well, in a good way?
Yes, that is it's a big skill he has, and that is always find the balance and don't overacting, but that skill you do need definitely in the top. So perform under stress, and he came in, make a big impact, same as Thursday. So really well done.
Tell us about the substitutions you made, because it looked like in the second half, once they got back into the game, it was going Fulham's way.
Yes, but straight after half-time was a big chance to close the game. And also, I think, before half-time, I think we had scored 1-2 more goals. They should also should score 1 goal, so 3-1 was, I think, a normal balance in half-time. But then we didn't score after half-time, and then Fulham came in, and they got the energy, got dynamic. Yeah, we were in that moment not really in the game, and we fight ourselves back. But I have to say that goal what we get against, if we want to be really good, cannot happen.
What didn't you like about it?
When you're 1-0 up, and you are playing an away game. It's not possible that the whole right wing is open.
It is now time to pause for the World Cup. So what is your assessment of your time in charge of Manchester United so far and the work so far this season? There's been notable wins over Tottenham, Liverpool, Arsenal, but what's your overall assessment?
Oh, I think, of course, more deeper. But I think we have a base. We go in the right direction. I think the culture has changed. The attitude, the mentality has changed. And that's good. And I think also now we improve football base. But it's always first the platform get a better mentality. And we have now, you see today, I think is the symbol of it, when you get the win in the last dying seconds of the game.
Do you think that shows a unity?
Definitely. Together with the fans, you see, we are now, and I said it in the dressing room, we are unity. We are united. We have togetherness. The dressing room, the staff, the dressing room, the directors, the whole club, and the fans. There is a togetherness, and I'm really happy with that, say, development.
Thanks, Eric.
He certainly does say it how he sees it. What did you make of what he said just there?
Yeah, I think it's quite accurate. We said it before the game, that when you slip so far behind your main competitors, then it doesn't just come back, so quickly. It can take years and years and years. And it has taken years and years and years for Manchester United. How long ago since they last won the league? It's a barren spell that they're in. And again, we compared it to Arsenal, and they might be a year or two behind Arsenal, for that matter. But I think he's very honest. I think there are shoots of improvement that we're seeing. They're certainly not there. There's certainly going to be little trip-ups along the way. But I think everybody at Old Trafford now can see an improvement. I think the fans are encouraged by what they're seeing. Some good young players coming through. And, yeah, it might take a little bit more time, but you can see positivity coming
You've
through.
often said, actually, in that chair, it's baby steps under Ten Hag at the minute at Manchester United. And the fact they're, 5 points better off than at this stage last season, after his 4 months at the helm, how do you look back at it right now, Darren?
Yeah,
in similar fashion?
Yeah, in 100%. They're going in the right direction. I know it's only 5 points, as you said, but they are 5 points better off, which means they are going
in the right direction.
They're going direction. Yeah. He's getting the best out of some of the players. As I said, he's had to make big decisions, big calls on certain players, whether they play, whether they not. I think he's recruited really well in the summer as well, bringing in certain players. So I think he'd be happy. Of course, he would have liked to have been closer to that top four. Certainly, when you look at they're beating Arsenal, they're beating Tottenham, so they can mix it with the big boys. And Liverpool, of course, they don't want to miss out that result as well. He's shown that his team, on a one-to-one basis, can compete with some of these teams. So it's about consistency. But he'd be delighted where they are. But I'm sure quietly he'd like to have been a little bit closer to that top four than he actually is.
They're 3 points shy, as things stand, as you can see. They've got a game in hand on Spurs when the campaign resumes on Boxing Day. Where do they need to strengthen? In fact, do you expect them to strengthen in January?
It's always difficult, isn't it, to strengthen in January. Managers will be having plenty of time to watch the World Cup, to spot any emerging talent. Injuries will play a part if any team are short in certain areas. I think most people tend to prepare for the summer and do most of their business there. But if opportunity knocks, then I can see Manchester. They'll always have the funds in place. I mean, they're such a wealthy club that funds will always be there if the manager says, right, we desperately need this certain player. But at the minute, they're going along quite nicely.
Which departments need strengthening?
Well, it's tough. I mean, they've just brought Casemiro in that holding midfield role, because that was a position I thought they were crying out for a long time. And then you look at the whole centre-forward situation now. Can you rely on Martial to get you the goals? Not quite sure. Not sure Rashford wants to play down there. You've got the whole situation with Ronaldo. So I think that's probably one area where you'd probably go, OK, they probably could do with another one. But Caesar said they're done. Where'd you go and find a centre-forward in January that's going to go and score you 20 goals per season? It just doesn't happen. So that would be the one area you'd look to probably strengthen in the summer. But right now, I think squad-wise, I think they're doing okay, actually. I think they've got more than enough in midfield, enough in the attacking areas. Maybe another full-back, right-back?
Yeah. Right-back, I was thinking right-back, yeah.
Well, we saw that today, did we not? Malacia having to fit in there as a left-back himself.
And of course...
And they were targeting that side.
Well, Ten Hag mentioned right-back area for the goal, didn't he? He says if we need to go to the next level, then we can't be leaving so much space down there. So, I mean, they've thrown a lot of money at the right-back area in recent years, but they might have to throw a little bit more at it.
Yeah. Funnily enough, 3 summer signings have played a crucial role so far this season. The likes of Martinez, Casemiro and Christian Eriksen, who, as the Dane admitted, it's long overdue his first goal in Manchester United colours. And it was a well-worked move, actually. 3 of those midfielders were all involved, particularly Eriksen, with his anticipation at the back post.
Yeah, and let's be fair to him. I mean, he's been playing in a deeper role, hasn't he, in this Manchester United team? So maybe set pieces are one of his chances. But I just think here, Fulham almost concede in midfield. First player, you know, runs it too far, let's say, gets tackled. The next one comes in and probably shouldn't challenge, maybe should just buy time. And then Manchester United flood forward and score a very good goal. I mean, yes, a little bit of luck, little deflection on the cross, but I thought they looked quite dangerous today when they were attacking. Fulham did play a high line, played into their hands slightly, but I thought they were quite lively.
Yeah, 100%. I think for Eric Gamble and get yourselves in there, you don't get that tapping. It looks simple, but he's anticipated that maybe something might break there, carried on his run, and you get your rewards at the end of it.
Has he been their best player this season?
Arguably, yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Martinez has done very well since he's been out with Eriksen. You know, we're not talking about a group of players that you say has been outstanding, but Eriksen's been right up there, yes.
Yeah, I'd say one of them too, Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez.
They've been consistent. I think they're the 2 that at times have had dips in form, but they've been the most consistent throughout this season, I'd say.
Interestingly, though, Erik Ten Hag, in that post-match interview, did talk about missed chances for Manchester United. And this is, I suppose, been an ongoing theme, right? They need to find a regular goal scorer.
Yeah, yeah. Darren said before, centre forwards don't grow on trees. I mean, they're few and far between the great players, the type of player that Manchester United need. Manchester United have got a lot of players that will score, you know, 10, 15 goals, but they've not got. I don't think they've got anyone that's going to score or capable of scoring 30 odd, apart from Cristiano Ronaldo, and it doesn't look like he's going to be playing as much as he'd like. So that's probably an area that Ten Hag will want to strengthen, but you might have to be patient trying to find a centre forward that's going to do that for you.
Don't.
Yeah,
was this a bad miss here, or was it a good save?
I wouldn't say it's a bad miss. I mean, it's unfortunate. I know what he's trying to do. They roll it around the goalkeeper's left. Good save, and he just reacted there. Rashford. It's quite tight as well, and it's a difficult finish. But as you said, they create so many chances and good chances like that, where it almost feels like at the crucial moment they just choose the wrong decision. I mean, that falls to McTominay. You probably would want it to fall to a Rashford or a Martial, but they create that many good opportunities that they just need somebody to finish them off, and that person is currently not in the squad, which is Ronaldo.
Yeah. We've spoken about Martinez, Christian Eriksen as being positives for United this season. What about David De Gea?
Yes, yeah, done fine, done well. Played well today, made a couple of good saves. I mean, he's been Player of the Year on so many occasions over the years for Manchester United. He's been a real rock, and yes, he's made mistakes, but I'd say he's had a very, very big influence on this team for many years. Probably not in a successful period, but as I say, he's been one of the shining lights for many years, and he's still going strong, obviously. He made a couple of really important saves today, and it's only when you score the winner late on, when you look back and think, wow, well, without some of these saves, then that wouldn't have been possible. So, yeah, another good game from him.
Do you think he had a point to prove today, having not been included in the Spain World Cup squad? Yeah,
someone with that experience, he'd be hurting from that, because he'll feel he's good enough to get himself into that squad. And when you look at goalkeepers from the Premier League that have been picked ahead of him, of course he's going to have a bee in his bonnet, but all he can keep doing is making saves like he's been doing. He's been doing it for years upon years, and hopefully he'll get himself back in there. But he's probably been one that, even though Manchester United in this period haven't been great, he's the one who stood up and gone, you know what, I'm not going to let my standards drop. He's kept his standards really high, and his performances have been exceptional.
Yeah, Michael?
Yeah, top class. Always has been top class. I was at the club when they signed him, so it's nice to see him going from. When he first walked through, I remember thinking, a goalkeeper. He was hardly bigger than me, and he was like so skinny. And I thought, he's not going to have the presence, but he's developed into one of the best in the world.
Okay, that's got to be a tough one to take.
Yeah, second in a row in 44 hours. Really tough to take. I think we we didn't deserve the result clear. I think first half we were trying to control more the game. I think we were more on the front foot. Of course, we know that the players they have, the quality they have, in each moment, and when you lose the ball, if you are not in the right position and if you don't react in the right way, they can punish you. That with Martial, Rashford, Elanga, or the boy. In the second half, with Bruno and Eriksen, always with the quality to take the right decision. We know that it will be difficult for us to have the control of the game always, but was our plan to have on the ball to play in our way, and we did it. I think we did it. Of course, we lost that ball. They scored first moment, in one moment that, in my opinion, Bruno tried to shot, and Eriksen believed, and he scored the 1-1. I think we reacted really well first half, but our second half was really good. I think we created chances from the first minutes of the second half. Good chance from Vini, another one with Tim. Good goal from ourselves as well in one counter-attack. It's true they lost the ball, a good offensive transition from ourselves, and in one moment that the game was under control. I think we cannot consider goals like that one, because it's the second time already in 7 days for us. It is being tough for us because the players, they were working so hard to get good results, to play like they played this evening. Of course, our fans, they have to be proud of our team, the way they played again against a very good side, but it's tough for us to take.
Is it, obviously it's cruel because it's the last minute, but was it a lack of focus for the goal, or was there anything you could have done about it at all?
No, we have to do much better. We have to do much better, of course, in that moment. Not really danger. Of course, was a moment that we believed that we can score. We won the ball and we tried to score as well, but we had enough balance to control better that situation when they made 1-2 with Eriksen. The moment was under control. Of course, we lost focus in that situation, and they score is clear. One moment that we lost the focus, not something that you cannot control. Of course, we have to control that moment. We know how we have to control that moment, and you lost the focus, or they believe more than us in that situation in the last minute of the game. Something that cannot happen with us, because we deserve much more from the game.
Talk to us about Paulinho. He seems to be a tackling machine.
Yes, great game. It's tough for us, and when you lose the game like we lost, talk about individual performance, of course, really tough for us to talk. I think collectively we're better on the pitch than them. I think they came here, they wait for our mistakes, some counter-attacks as well, and we knew that probably will be like that, the way you try to approach the game, the way normally we approach the game. We'll have more of the ball than them. I think even it was balanced, because last 20 minutes they had in some moments more than us as well. But it's tough to talk about individual performance. I understand your question. Of course, was another great game from João, and always balanced well our team. On the ball is keep improving as well, is important for us. And Forte was not enough.
Okay, here's the World Cup now. It is a pause, a break. What's your assessment of what you've done so far as a club this season?
You have been doing really well. Of course, last 3 games, a little bit difficult taste for us, difficult mood after the matches, because we deserve clear more points. Could have more points clear, because came here against Everton and 2 games against Manchester sides. I think we deserve clear more from the games, and it's tough to take when you considered twice in the last minute of the match. Something that you can control was not something. Okay, credits to them, they did it fantastic. We have to control much better that 2 moments. But answer direct to you, of course, it's been a very good season when you look for ourselves, the position that you are. But you have to keep improving. This is my way to see football, to see our team. Okay, we are happy, we are pleased the way we did it, but we can improve much more. I hope we can have all the players ready when come the Boxing Day, because it's really important. It's not easy for us. Today again, we just made one change in the last minutes of the game, of course, with more players on the bench. The game will be completely different in that moment, second half. The impact that Daniel James made in the game, imagine if I have more solutions for the attack line with that quality, the game will be completely different. It's tough for us because we look to the bench, we have there, but many defenders as well, not players to fresh our attack line. That is really important in that moment. Let's hope they can come all in good conditions to play again. And of course we are pleased, but we want more. I think we deserve more, and we will work for achieve that.
Fulham have shown such great improvement this season, particularly when you compare it to their last couple of seasons in England's top flight. And it's ended in a way that he would not have liked. But put it in context, they've lost to 2 injury-time goals, one to Manchester United and one to Manchester City, and there's no disgrace in that, is it, particularly for a newly promoted team?
No, you'd snap your hand off with that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
2 wins, 2 draws and 2 defeats against that calibre of teams. You know, 8 points in 6 games. It's not a bad return. They do that all season, they'll be absolutely fine. So they've had a really good start to life in the Premier League. Of course, they've been a bit of a yo-yo club in recent years, but you know, on current evidence, they're going to be in the season now. It's going to take a lot of work for them to do that, but they are performing well, and hopefully this break in play, this pause in play, isn't going to affect them, because it's going to be a strange season. You know, the likes of Arsenal, they're looking so good. You know, there's lots of teams, Newcastle looking so good. They'll probably want the season to just continue now. Forget the World Cup, let's keep going.
Going to come at the wrong time.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one once we resume.
Yeah, and key injuries have also, let's not forget, kicked in for Fulham at the worst time with these last 2 games, particularly against City United. Yes, Mitrovic has won, their top scorer, with 9 goals, but also Neeskens Cabano, who'd had such a terrific campaign up until the point he was ruled out.
Yeah, as you said there, they are missing players in these last couple of games. Mitrovic is a big one, of course. He's their top goal scorer. He's the one, their focal point. We saw today the balls that were going in the box of real quality. They just don't have the same feel to it.
They don't have a plan B behind him, do they?
Not really, no, because everything's through Mitrovic, and why not? When you've got someone who scores as many goals as he does, not only just his goals, but the way he brings others into play, using his body, physicality, that's always going to be a big miss. But listen, they good result today. I know they got beat, but the performance, I thought, was very, very good, and unfortunate to lose it at the end.
Yeah. 19 points from 15 games for Fulham. That's 8 points better off than at the same stage when they were last in the Premier League 2 years ago. I mean, they're so much more organised, but also, you know, you can be organised as a newly promoted side, but there's a vibrance here about this side, which are actually quite pleasing on the eye.
Yeah, I mean, top 10 in the league as we go into the break is some achievement. The team looks good. The manager looks good. The stadium is coming on really nicely. It's always been a small type of boutique-y type of stadium, hasn't it? But now all of a sudden it looks like they're, you know, flexing their muscles and joining the big boys with their stadium. So it's an exciting time to be a Fulham fan. And as I say, if they can keep this going and stay in the league and then build and build and build, then fantastic. But they're going about it the right way at the moment.
I think the Fulham fans are waiting for the rooftop swimming pool to go in to complete it. But Dan James came on today, a bit like Garnacho did for United. He made a telling contribution. And this showed a bit of fight, a bit of spirit. And in fact, they're in the ascendancy from this moment on.
They were, yeah. They came out second half, and fair play to Fulham. They caused problems. I mean, Manchester United there causing their own problems. But yeah, Willian driving with the ball, and it's a really good overlapping run from Tom Kearney. But just Dan James getting himself in that 6-yard box, anticipating the ball might get to him. He reacts quicker than the Manchester United defenders do, and he gets the tap in. But I mean, you look here again, Malacia, he just gets it all wrong. His position's all wrong. He's not quite sure whether to go. Ericsson can't quite clearly give him the ball. Bruno Fernandes, so he's having to run back. But Willian chooses the right option here. He drives forward. Really good run from Tom Kearney, but Dan James, as I said, reacts really quickly, gets himself right into that 6-yard box, and he gets a tap in.
Yeah,
he's a good player, isn't he, Dan James, to have as an impact player. He's got so much pace. He gave him so much trouble today. I do see him as an impact player.
Yeah.
And when you've got pace, do you give people trouble? That doesn't matter what you do at the end of it. If you've got pace, then people are quite scared of you, and he's scared Martinez in particular today.
Yeah. A word for Fulham's recruitment. 11 players came in the summer, but 2 players have particularly shone through. Paulinho in the centre of the field, but also Brazilian Willian. At 34, caused United a lot of problems today. Yeah,
and there was probably question marks about him. We've seen him in the Premier League for quite a few years, the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal. His last spell in the Premier League at Arsenal was disappointing. He left, and you think, right, well, that's the end of him in terms of the Premier League. But he's come back with a vengeance and played particularly well today. We always known his set pieces, his pace. He's proven, you know, to be a very good player over the years. But we potentially thought he was he was on the wane. But that was a good performance today.
And just to round off on Fulham, you know, the last couple of campaigns have ended in immediate relegation. Do you see hope that might change this time?
Yeah, of course. I know they've been beat the last 2 games, but if they put that type of performance in, week out, and they get their players back that are out injured, I don't see Fulham being in any trouble this season at all. As long as they keep this momentum, this kind of intensity, I think they'll be fine this season.